I think we need to talk about a certain Duck retiring. The second greatest Duck in the history of the franchise. Daniel, yeah, come on now. Corey Perry, it will be retiring at the end of the season. Throw it over to our Ducks guy, Daniel. Your childhood is over, according to our notes on our doc. I'm guessing you said that. How do you feel? What do you got to say about the career of Ryan Getzlaf?
Okay, I think, the two things that I look at for it is, first, I was really sad it happened. I mentioned it to you guys. I was really upset. I know it was kind of something that you were expecting to happen from last season, especially the injuries mounting, the team not doing well, a new GM coming in, I think exacerbated that. But I think I gave it time to reminisce, in a sense, of the good times of Ryan Getzlaf, of the whole career. I think when I think back on one player, I think he's the one guy that I could look at, also with Corey Perry, that I really grew up with. Like when I really got into hockey when I was a lot younger, it was those two guys I watched in the World Juniors. And then I watched them play for the Mighty Ducks. And then I watched them win a cup. I watched them win gold medals. So they're the guys that have been there throughout my entire life, from being so little to, adulthood right now. So I know, Adam, you're going to say Corey Perry, number one Duck, but Ryan Getzlaf, he's the only player to play for the Ducks this long, 17 seasons, longest captain at 9 seasons. And yeah, I don't know. It's a weird feeling for me that when you think of the Ducks, you think of Ryan Getzlaf right now. I think right now, I don't think you should go for a captain. Everyone's saying it's Cam Fowler right now, but I think just let it marinate for a bit. Let it be that this was Getzlaf's team for so long, and just go with it. Because we look at the stats and, number one in scoring. He is going to retire with only one team. Like a lot of people say Teemu Selanne, Paul Kariya, Corey Perry, but come on, this is the one guy that stayed with the Ducks.
There's a sentiment they're playing your whole career. And then Selanne was like, the pit stop in Colorado. Jets fans kind of hang on to him as their guy. 1,000 points to retire with. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 8 seasons with at least 50 assists, which is just incredible. You have a thought on Ryan Getzlaf there, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel talked about the stuff in Anaheim, but let's not forget about the stuff he did with Team Canada. 2 Olympic golds, right? 2010, 2014. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
2005 World Juniors.
2000. Is that the team that Anthony Stewart says is the best World Junior team of all time?
Yeah. This was the Pierre McGuire double Dion year.
Fair. No, but again, I think he's had not only an impact just in Anaheim, being there for 17 years, but I think internationally as well too.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were done there.
No worries, sorry. No, I ended my sentence weird. You're right.
World Cup of Hockey 2016 as well.
I was going to ask if he was part of that. I remember Perry was on the team, and
he was a late add-in, Corey Perry. Yeah.
I also love the fact that you both mentioned the World Junior, that World Junior team, Dion, and that before mentioning Sidney Crosby or Patrice Bergeron. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I think that's like that legendary team that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
Not bad. Is he a Hall of Famer? Because that debate is going. I think it's safe to say I wouldn't have him first ballot. But I think he gets there, especially being the guy in Anaheim, one of the biggest big men the league's ever seen, and an incredible playoff performer too, nearly point per game in his career.
Yeah. 7th, all time. No, what is it? He's 7th all time right now in scoring.
Getzlaf?
No, that's 7th all time scoring. He's in, what was it? 7th something with scoring.
I
think with current,
that high.
I think active players, I can't remember.
Active,
but I think overall he's 88th.
I can double check.
But yeah, I don't know. It just even for me, it's a tough call. And Alex, I don't know if you're going to agree with this, but it's kind of like Ryan Getzlaf's Lowry.
He's 9th among active players.
9th among active players. All right, thank you. I think he's kind of like Cal Lowry to me, were, star level, consistent all-star type of player level, at least in that regard.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always the best player on the team, if that makes sense. Like when he started his career, there was Timo Solani, who rejuvenated his career. There was Chris Pronger, Scott Niedermayer, and then Corey Perry's the one who won the individual awards. But there was that longevity there with Getzlaf that I didn't, you didn't really see with the other players, because like Pronger was only there for a few years, even though he's a Hall of Famer. Scott Niedermayer was at the tail end of his career. Paul Correa didn't want to re-sign. Corey Perry was bought out. So I think in that regard, for me, that's why I think Getzlaf is the greatest Duck.
By the way, if you look at active players and assists, he's fifth, by the way. And the only guys ahead of him are Thornton. You may have heard of Sidney Crosby, Backstrom, who's been giving Ovechkin the puck for a decade, and Patrick Kane, who is probably one of the best American players of all time. Good player. I think he'll definitely get there one day to the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. You know what I mean? It's weird that he doesn't have any like individual awards. He had like a 91-point season. But just a hell of a career for him. I don't think we in the East ever really appreciated how good he was. And I wonder if part of that is the Ducks just sort of missed out in the 2010s on winning again. Because, Chicago and LA existed. And then, St. Louis too. And if they ever had a last shirt, like hoorah, would have been around there, maybe a few years before that. But yeah, I wonder if that's always going to hold it. It's that he never got that second chip. But still, good player, great career, and like to see he'll probably be a part of that organization in some way afterwards, or maybe he'll just disappear to. I don't know where he's from.
He's from Calgary.
Seems like an Albertan guy. Where is he?
Yeah, he's like one of the most famous Calgary hitmen ever.
That makes sense.